What happens when one woman becomes the architect of pop culture's most famous empire? What secrets lie behind the smiles, the perfectly filtered photos, and the billion-dollar brand? Kris Jenner's top KUWTK family highlights and more isn't just a story about reality television, it's a story about power, control, and the relentless pursuit of success. Behind every viral moment, every headline, and every scandal that shook the world, there was Kris Jenner pulling the strings with the precision of a mastermind, from the glitz of Calabasas to the emotional chaos of keeping up with the Kardashians. Kris Jenner's legacy stretches far beyond the cameras. But who's the woman who managed to turn her family into one of the most talked-about dynasties on Earth? Cut to the faint hum of a TV studio. A flash of light, the KUWTK logo flickers on screen. Narrator VO. It all began in 2007. The world wasn't ready for the phenomenon about to hit. Television screens everywhere. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a title that would redefine celebrity, reality, and family drama. And at the center of it all stood one woman, Kris Jenner. A mother, a manager, a visionary. Sound of Laughter echoes a montage of early KUWTK scenes plays. Narrator VO. Long before she became the momager of Hollywood, Kris Jenner was a woman with a plan to turn her 6 children into global superstars. But no one could have predicted what was to come. From heartbreaks to headlines, from scandals to success, the Jenner-Kardashian family would soon dominate every conversation in entertainment. And through it all, Kris was the heartbeat, the calm in the chaos, the voice behind every decision, and often the hand guiding every move. Cut 2, footage of Kris in her office. Phone in hand, papers scattered. A camera rolling. Narrator VO. Kris Jenner's top KUWTK family highlights tell a story of love, loyalty, and the price of fame. Every episode captured something deeper, a mix of raw emotion and strategic storytelling that only Kris could orchestrate. Let's go back to the beginning, the moment that started it. All cue nostalgic music. Narrator VO. In those early KUWTK days, Kris was more than a mother. She was a businesswoman, carving out a new kind of empire. While the world laughed, criticized, and doubted, Kris was busy transforming her family's name into a brand. She wasn't afraid to show vulnerability or imperfection. She knew the power of relatability, and it worked. Audiences around the world couldn't look away. The show became an overnight sensation, every argument, every tear, every laugh turning into cultural currency. Soundbite Kris saying, "You're doing amazing. Sweetie," the line echoes. Narrator VO, that single phrase, "You're doing amazing. Sweetie," wasn't just a meme. It was a mantra, a symbol of Kris's unwavering belief in her children, especially during their earliest steps into the spotlight. Kim Kardashian's rise to fame may have shocked the world, but to Kris, it was an opportunity, a chance to redefine public perception, to take control of the narrative. With Kris's management, Kim became a household name, setting the tone for what the family would become. Unstoppable. Cut to the glittering lights of Los Angeles. Narrator VO. Kris Jenner's top KUWTK family highlights include more than just success stories. They capture the essence of transformation. We saw Kourtney embrace motherhood, Khloe fight through heartbreak, and Kendall and Kylie grow from shy teenagers into global icons. Each journey, carefully guided, always protected, but never without drama. There were fights. There were tears. There were moments when the family threatened to fall apart, and yet, somehow, they always came back stronger. Why? Because Kris Jenner was always there, keeping everyone and everything together. A pause. The sound of a ticking clock. Narrator VO. But it wasn't all glitz and glamour. Behind the scenes, the pressure was immense. The constant cameras, the never-ending scrutiny, the expectations, all of it weighing heavily on the family. Kris had to balance business with love, contracts with compassion, and sometimes, that balance tipped. Remember the episode where Kris tried to mediate between Kim and Kourtney during one of their most explosive fights? A moment that quickly became one of KUWTK's most iconic family highlights. Cut to dramatic slow motion, reenactment, voices overlapping, shouting. Narrator VO. Kourtney wanted distance. Kim wanted control. The sisters clashed, and the tension spilled over like never before. But through the chaos, Kris remained calm, frustrated, yet grounded, reminding them that no matter what, family came first. It was moments like this that made KUWTK more than a show. It was a reflection of real family dynamics, real love, and real conflict, only magnified under the world's brightest spotlight. And who orchestrated that spotlight? Kris Jenner. Sound of applause fades in. Narrator VO. Over the years, Kris's journey became its own storyline. Her relationships, her business ventures, her unbreakable bond with her children, they were all part of the legacy. She wasn't just behind the camera anymore. She was the star. One of Kris Jenner's top KUWTK highlights came when she renewed the family's television contract for a staggering $150 million, a deal that solidified their place in television history. It wasn't just a contract. It was proof that her vision had worked. The woman who started with a small family reality show had built a global brand, a dynasty, that would outlive the cameras. Cut to footage of Kris giving a toast at a family dinner. Narrator VO2. Kris. Family was always the foundation. Through every betrayal, every tabloid headline, every loss, she never let go of the family's core values: loyalty, hard work, love. But she also understood the power of reinvention. As KUWTK came to an end after 20 seasons, Kris didn't slow down. She evolved. The Kardashians on Hulu became the next chapter, sleeker, more cinematic, yet still filled with that same raw emotion and family dynamic that audiences adored. Narrator VO. Even now, Kris Jenner continues to redefine what it means to be a matriarch in modern media. Whether she's managing billion-dollar beauty brands, negotiating television deals, or supporting her children through personal challenges, her influence remains unmatched. Her ability to merge family with fame is a masterclass in control, a balance few could ever achieve. Sound of pens, signing contracts, flashes of cameras. Narrator VO. Behind every brand, from Kylie Cosmetics to Skims, there's Kris, ensuring every detail, every image, every opportunity aligns with the grand vision she built from the ground up. It's no wonder she's often called the most powerful woman in entertainment. But what truly defines her isn't the money, the fame, or the endless empire she's built. It's her family. Her children are her legacy, her story, and her purpose. Even now, when the cameras stop rolling, Kris Jenner is still the same woman who once told her daughter, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." Silence. Then soft piano music fades in. Narrator VO. Through all the chaos and controversy, one truth remains clear. Kris Jenner changed the landscape of pop culture forever. She turned everyday family life into entertainment gold. And in doing so, she gave audiences around the world a new kind of celebrity, one built not on mystery, but on reality. Taught her top KUWTK family highlights aren't just about fame, they're about resilience, about how love, ambition, and unity can thrive even under the harshest spotlight. Kris once said, "If somebody says no, you're talking to the wrong person." And perhaps that's what made her unstoppable, that refusal to accept limits. Cut to footage of the family laughing together, old and new clips merging in a seamless timeline. Narrator VO. From the first episode of KUWTK to the latest Hulu season, one thing remains constant: Kris Jenner's vision. Her ability to evolve with the times, to adapt, and to lead her family through fame's unpredictable storm is what defines her. She didn't just keep up with the Kardashians, she created them. And as the world continues to watch, to follow, and to admire, Kris Jenner's influence continues to shape entertainment, business, and culture itself. Cue emotional music crescendo. Narrator VO. So when we look back at Kris Jenner's top KUWTK family highlights and more, we're not just watching a reality show. We're witnessing history, the story of a mother who turned her family into an empire, her name into a brand, and her vision into a legacy that will last for generations. Soft fade out. Montage ends. Silence. Narrator VO. And in the end, one truth remains: you can change the world one family at a time. If you're Kris Jenner,